Stefan steals, and he'll ice it. Oh, at least I thought he was gonna, until he blew it. That's unbelievable. Here come the Oilers the other way. Hemsky's loose. Hemsky, he scores! Can you believe what we just saw?
And wherever this team winds up, and when this team wins the Stanley Cup, it's coming back to Winnipeg!
Sunshine, you can throw the ball a mile, but you can't pitch it 5 yards. Rev, yes, coach, get in there. Show him how it's done.
All right, great entrance, and it is great to be back on BUSTradio after a week layoff for Thanksgiving. Today is October 16th, and we're still going. Huge news today in the NHL as the owners made an offer to the players, so we'll touch on that. We'll also talk about some baseball, and we were going to cover some... Oh, we're also going to cover the Riders. That's what we're also going to cover. So that's how it's going to break down today. So, jumping in right off the bat, our NHL expert, Thomas Stevert, is going to break down this new deal. So what exactly went on there, Tommy?
Well, it looks like the NHL have submitted a proposal or an offer. And it seems as though what Bettman has wanted to center the media attention at least around is the 50-50 HRR split. Right off the bat, once you listen to the two press conferences from both sides, the picture that I got is that Bettman wants everyone to focus on the 50-50. He avoided a lot of other questions. I'm just not sure what other sort of points that the NHL side, the owner side, has actually peeled back from his deal to move up to the 50-50 offer. And with Fair's conference just following that, it looks as though he was very, very cautious in choosing all his words and saying he'll use this as a jump-off point, and it really seems as though he possibly suspects that the NHL has moved on HRR, and they maybe clawed back a few other points, which we'll get to later. So I'm optimistic with the deadline actually being in place instead of just the negotiations being open for a resolution, but it seems like there's going to be a ton of work still. But I mean, at least we've got a jump off now.
Yeah, that's the thing. At least they're talking, so you think it's got to happen sooner or later. So, with this deal, Andrew Bellamy, do you think we'll be playing hockey on November 2nd, like they stated?
I'm going to say yeah. I don't know a whole lot about what was it all centered around, but I mean, what was the split before? You were just saying 57-43 is what it was, and now they're offering 50-50. I think, like, as the players, I don't think you're going to get any better than that. Like, the players definitely can't ask for more, or I mean, I guess they could, but to me, this just sounds like a fair balance, if there is anything.
I think at least fellow colleague Bob McKenzie has cited a few other issues that are going to be hot spots that's going to surround what the salary cap and floor will be, the actual term of the contract, the contract, the entry level contracts. When a player becomes a UFA, I think the problem they're trying to address there is when you are in a rebuild. That rebuild comes apart so soon after the cycle is too short, because you're losing those players to the competitiveness of the free agency market. So I think that they want to extend that time before you become a UFA, so teams can hold on to players longer, remain competitive with those players, and to reduce the giant salaries that are given up with the inclusion of those 3 years entry level contracts.
So, I guess then, I guess then in some ways what like Bettman is playing to like the casual listener like myself. I hear 50-50 and I say, okay, let's just do it. You know, he's probably there's probably going to be a lot of fans that are going to hear 50-50. Okay, players sign it, but so he's like I think you mentioned that he's focusing his attention on that, or that's what he wants people to see. So it's going to just make him look better.
Well, I think as far as PR goes at this point, I read something that the PR battle was lost by both sides on September 15th, the minute that there was a lockout. So I mean, that's kind of the first thing that I thought when I saw that how much Bettman was focusing in his 6-minute interview on, we're looking at a 50-50, I don't want to discuss, I don't want to stall any continuation of these discussions, where we will just be on call for the Players Association. He wouldn't really discuss anything other than that 50-50. I think that's just what he wanted to highlight. But at this point, it's not. It's already a PR mess. It's the third.
Well, PR mess, but maybe he, like, throwing that out there, don't you think? The casual guy.
Yeah.
Here's 50-50. Boom, you gotta take it, players.
Yeah, but these guys, Bettman might be trying to save face on management side a bit with this sort of proposal, but you know that Daly or Fair will come back with as many jabs at this proposal if need be, if it's that far off.
Yeah. So we did a poll on BUSTradio Twitter account with 3 options as to whose fault was the lockout, and overwhelming response for the owner's fault. Other options were the players, and they're both rich douchebags was the third option. Anyway, 100% of respondents said it is the owner's fault. I don't know how many people were involved in that survey, but 2, I think. But that I think
Sample size.
that is the general consensus among casual listeners, is that they just hate Bettman because he's a weasel.
Oh, and he's always been the goat. He's always been.
Regardless of what he does, and
You could have David Suzuki in his position, and Canadians would hate him. Like, he just it's a tough go because there's points to be made on both sides. But this is great that they've got November 2nd. They've got it on the calendar. They were proactive enough to put that date out there. They didn't say, here's the offer, we'll take it from here. They said, here's the date, let's get this going. They're really putting that in the PA's court. And I think the fact that, like Bob McKenzie said, we've got 7 to 9 days of hardcore negotiation. I think that's exactly what it's going to be. I think that both sides are going to see, hey, here's something that if it goes past this point, we're gonna look way worse than we ever even did. And I think they're gonna go back and forth on several points and hash something out by, what was it, October 24th, 5th?
Yeah, 7 days, 6 or 7 days.
We're I jumped for joy when I heard this news. We could have NHL hockey in two weeks.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
So hopefully we don't have to talk about Gary Bettman or Donald Fuhr for 6 years. That would be nice. There's nothing more frustrating than going on TSN or NHL.com and it's just a picture of one of those Munsons. You just want the hockey, but you got to deal with that.
Yeah, and if the NHL and the PA could work together to fund some consultants to look into this issue and to get to the root of whatever the discrepancies are between these two parties that seem that, I mean, obviously have been an issue for the past 15 years, that and fix this problem so when the CBA comes up, there's a solution in place next year. It's not, do you remember a year and a half ago when we were talking Olympic hockey, will the players be able to play? There was questions already, will there even be a season? Why wasn't a solution? Why didn't we start looking into all that then? Why don't we start looking into everything right now? Have a solution for the next deadline in place.
Yeah, no doubt. Wait till the deadline and then, we missed it. Yeah, no hockey. Sorry, fans. Anyway, that was our NHL talk. We'll come back with a little Rider Roundup.